Okay, now let's create the generic function over here. So I'm going to do generic function. All right, I'm going to do the generic function over here, or maybe generic Amazon scripper function. Okay, so let me convert this one to a markdown. All right. Okay, so this is what we're going to do now. Over here, what I'm going to do is to put everything together, right, and then make it more generic. All right, so what I'm going to do first is to bring these libraries that we imported. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that one, then I come down here, then I paste it here. All right, okay, so this is fine. The next thing that I'm going to do, now we're going to use the functions that we've created earlier on to do the same thing. So let me go to the first one that we created, which is my URL. Okay, I'm going to get that one, then I come here, then I paste it over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me actually name this one as URL. Okay, what I'm going to do is to add the page, right, the specific page, because if you see over here, if you go all the way down here, we have 1 to 20 pages, right, all the way to 20 pages. So let me add a placeholder for the URL as well, right? So I'm going to do it like this. So if I pick the URL, right, I'm going to continuously add the page numbers, right? So I'm going to do and then the page, then I make it more generic over here, right, something like this. Because if you see the URL over here, you can see that we have one here, that's for the first page. If I go to say the second page, right, if I click on the second page, now I see that we have 2 over here. Okay, if I go to the third page, let me go all the way down. If I go to say the third page, now I see that it has changed to 3 over here. So that's what I'm going to do. So depending on the page that I want, right? So if I put 3 here, it means that the final, this one should take away 1 and put 3 there. Okay, if I put say page 2 over here, it should take away this one and put 2 over here. Okay, so let me start with 1 over there and then make this one more generic. Okay, so this one is going to add that one over there. I'll show you later on when we are running the code. Okay, then what I'm going to do is to return whatever that I have, right, whatever URL, final URL that I'll be having over here. Okay, now that's the first function that I'm going to create. The second function that I'll create over here, so we're going to be using functions to achieve all these things. Okay, so I'm going to use dev extract, right, extract, maybe let me do it like this, extract underscore records. All right, then inside that I'll put let me see, up there we created an object, right? We created an object which contains the page that we want. In this case, we said that we're going to get it for the first page. Okay, so I'm just going to put in, depending on the particular item or the object that the user add, right? So that's going to be something like this. All right, then I'm going to add the A tags, right, which we use to extract the other information. Where are they? Okay, so we use this A tag over here. So I'm going to copy this same A tag, right? So after I get the object, I use this A tag that we used, right? So I'm just going to copy the same thing and bring it here. Okay, then after that is done, remember that we stripped off something, right? If you go all the way to where the A tag is, we strip off something and then we store it in a variable called ds, right? So that's the description. So I'm going to add that part as well. Then finally we will get our URL, right, which is going to be something like this, right? So this is what we created. So I'm going to add that one, which was the final URL that we got. Okay, so everything that we've done above there is what I'm putting them together over here. Okay, now when we're doing this, right, when we're doing this automatically, what happens is that it will be possible that some of the items that we want, right, for instance, if we want, say, the price or the ratings, right, it will be possible that those items might not be on the page, right? And in that case, if you are not finding I mean, your scraper is not finding that item on the page, it's going to throw back an error. Okay, it's going to throw an error. In order to take care of that error, we're going to use some error exceptions, right? So that we use those error exceptions to take care of those errors. Okay, so I'm going to try several things over here. What I'm going to try first is going to try I'm going to try what we did earlier on, which is this I'm going to try this thing, right? I'm going to try this thing over here. Let me go down there and paste it. That is to get the price, right? That's to get the price. Okay, so I'm going to try that one. Now, if I get the price, that's fine. But if the price is not there, then I have to accept the error so that it will not actually stop running the program, right? So I'm going to accept the program by using this accept. Right, I'm going to use this accept over here. Then I'm going to accept attribute. Right, I'm going to accept attribute error. All right, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, then I'll do return over here. Okay, that's basically what I'm going to do. So if the information that I'm looking for is not there, right, for instance, if the price is not there, then I'm going to accept the attribute error. Because if you go to the page and you see something here, let's examine some of the items over there. If you take this item, for instance, see that we don't have price there, right? So in this case, it's going to throw an error for me, but I mean, if the price is not there, it means that the item might be out of stock or the item is not available. Okay, so that's fine for me. I still want to continue to extract the second information, right? I still want to continue to skip this one and continue. Okay, but if you don't do that, if you don't accept the error, then it's going to stop running from here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do over here. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the reviews as well. Right, I'm going to do the same thing for the review. So for the reviews too, I'm going to try to see if what we did, I mean, if we're going to get the review. Otherwise, I'm going to skip that. Okay, so let me see what I can do over here. I'm going to use rate equals this, and I'm going to paste that one over here. Okay, so if it's able to find this one, that's fine. Let me do it for the rate count as well, right? Okay, let me do it for the rate count as well, right? So I'm going to put that one over here. That one should be something like counts underscore reviews, right, equals, right? So that's the counts of the reviews, right, or the review count. You can just name it as you want. Okay, now if this one is not there, right, if I don't get this one, then what I'm going to do is to accept this. Right, what I'm going to do is to accept this thing over here. I'm going to do accept attribute error. I'm going to copy the same thing, then I put it over here. Okay, I'm going to accept attribute error. Now, if the rating is not there, that's fine. I mean, if the item is not having any ratings, it might be that it's a new item, right, which has been put there, right, and it's not having a rating yet, right? This is just a new item which is not having a rating. So that's fine. It won't have a rating, which means that it will not have any rating count as well. Okay, and that's okay for me. So I still want to continue to extract the information. I mean, the particular information. Like if the price is not there, it means the item is not there, so I skip that item. But if the rating is not there, I still want to get the title, the price, right, and then the image of the item. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So in that case, I'll say that if the rating is not there, then give it just give me an empty thing over there, right? Just give it empty. Okay, if say the count of the review, right, if the count of the review is also not there, then do the same thing, just give it an empty space over there, right, which means it's not there. I mean, it won't give anything. All right, what I'm going to add next is I'm going to also add an image over here, right? I'm going to get the images of the page as well, right? So for that, I'm going to do just the same thing that we used to find all the others as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. So the image is also in an image tag, right? If you want to If you want to examine, you can just click on something. You see that it's over here. It's an image tag, right? So that's basically what I'm doing to get this. All right, so it's an image tag, and then let me do it this way. Let me use a dictionary here to get it. So in class, right, in class, because I know where it is located, that's why I'm just doing it. Okay, then after that, what I'm going to do is to do .get src, right? That's basically what I'm going to do. Okay, now that this is done, what I'm going to do is to create some kind of a tuple, right? I'm going to create a tuple which is going to contain the descriptions that I've given, right? Which is where is the description? Which is this description, right? Of the item that is going to be the title, right? So I'm just going to name that one as say description. I'm just going to name it as description, and also going to contain not only the description but the price, right? So I have the description, I have the price, right? I also have the price over here, so it's going to contain the price as well. Then it's going to contain the rate, all right? It's going to contain the rate, then it's going to contain the review count, right? It's going to contain the review count as well. Not forgetting the URL, right? Because we will have our URL over here, right? The generic URL. So I want that one as well. And then finally, the image, right? Oh, I also want the image, right? So that's what the tuple is going to contain, right? So let me actually name this one as say results, right? Let me name it as say results. And then this is what is going to happen. Then finally, I'm just going to return this result, right? I'm going to return result. Okay, so that's basically what we need to do. The next thing that I'm going to do is that we're going to run this one from the main program, right? So in order to execute this, we're going to run this from main. Okay, so I need to create a main function here, df main, right? Df main, and then this main is actually going to accept the keyword that the user is going to type, which we don't know about, right? So as soon as they type the keyword, we need to start our drivers, right? So I'm going to bring what we just did earlier on over here, right? So as soon as they type the thing, we need to bring our driver. So I'm going to use the Chrome, right? So if you are on Firefox, then you copy the Firefox one. If you're using Microsoft Edge, then you use this one, right? But since I'm using Chrome, I'm going to use this one, right? I'm going to start on the Chrome server over there, all right? So I do that one. Now once that is done, I'm going to create an empty record over here, right? So which is going to be something like say records, which is going to be an empty list, right? Which I mean it's going to contain all the records that we're going to extract, all right? Then the URL is going to be this function, right? The URL is going to come from after the users have passed their URL through this function, right? Remember that the keyword will first pass through this one, right? So that's basically what is going to happen over here, right? So I do that the keyword, right? Okay, so after I've able to get that, what I'm going to do is that I need to specify the range of the page that they are actually going to do. So I'm going to they are going to get the information from, right? So I'm going to do for page, right? For page in the number of pages, right? So the range of the number of pages. So in this case, if we see over here, we have 1 to 20 pages over there, right? So for that, I'm going to do 1 to 20, right? So depending on what you want, right? So if I want the last page to come, then I have to do it maybe 1 to 21. Okay, so that I'll be able to get the last page as well, right? So depending on the number of pages there, you can just adjust this as you want. All right, now I need to do driver dot get, right? Just like we did earlier on, right? Driver dot get, and then inside this one is going to be the URL, right? The URL dot then I'm going to add this page number, right? So format page, right? So format page. So if it is page 1, then here is going to be 1, right? Here is going to be 1, and it's going to be added to this one. It's going to go here, right, it's going to go here. It's going to be here 1, right, and this, right, it's going to be 1 here, and this one is going to be here. Okay, so if it is 2, if it is page 2 over here, if it is page 2 over here, then this is going to be populated over here. All right, and then this 2 is going to be shown here. That's how we're going to get our URLs. Okay, so let me do this, make this one 1, and then come back here and then make it page, right, so that everything will be more generic over here. All right, so that is done. Now when we do this thing, it's more like we are doing the same thing that we did, where we get the soup object, right, like this one. Right, so I'm just going to get this one so that we'll be able to get the HTML source of the page, right, in the form of an HTML parser. All right, so that's what I'm going to do over here. So let me bring that part here. Okay, let me bring that part here. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. So after that, we did this, right? After we got our HTML parser, this is what we got. This is what we did. So I'm going to do that, right? Which is going to be the results, right, of the page. So I'm going to add that part here. So it's more like everything that we did one by one is what I'm putting them together, right? I'm just putting them together over here. Okay, so now I have to be sure if what my users have given actually contains something or not. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do for any item, right? For any item, so for any item in this soup results, right? Okay, I'm going to pass through. I'm going to pass this one, so I'm going to just create something here, maybe record equals. I'm going to pass whatever item that I have, right? I'm going to pass it through this. I'm going to pass it through this extract records, right? I'm going to pass it through this extract record so that I'll be able to have this generic URL, and I'll be able to extract this information from that. Okay, I'll be able to get that result. So that's what I'm going to do over here. So I'm going to pass in the item. All right, I'm going to pass in the item. So for every item that I will have, I will get in this super results, right? I'm going to pass it through this extract record, so that I'll be able to extract the record from that beautiful soup object that I have here. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Now after that part is done, if what I'm going to do here is that if the record, right, that is if I'm able to pass it through this extract record and be able to extract these records, right, be able to extract these records, right, it's possible that the user will type in a keyword, or I mean a search for a product which is not present on Amazon, right? So what I'm trying to do over here is that if the product that the user is searching is present on the Amazon, then add it to my record, right? But if it is not there, then we can skip that part. So what I'm going to do is that if the record, if you are able to extract something from the item that you pass on the extract record, right, if you're able to extract something from that, then I'm going to add this one to this empty records that I have here. I'm going to add it to our empty records. Okay, so I'm going to do append, right, append the record that you extracted, right, whatever record that you extracted, append it to the empty function records. Okay, so that is basically what I'm going to do over here. All right, that's what I'm going to do over here. Okay, so I mean I'm just using some simple logic over here to make sure that I get the information that I want. All right, now the next thing that I'm going to do is to be able to save whatever records that I've been able to extract. Okay, so that is if the keyword that the user typed is present and is able to extract these records for me, then I add it to my records. Okay, so I need to now save these records that I have. Right, so for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do with open. Okay, with open, I need to push this a bit. So with open, all right, then inside here, what I'm going to do is that I need to save it to a certain variable. So maybe I'll just save it as results. I'll just save it to results.csv. Okay, and then since we are going to write to it, I need to specify this, right? Then I also specify my new line over here. All right, to be some empty thing over here. Then since this is a web data, I'm just going to specify that the encoding here is equal to UTF, right? UTF-8, right, as F. Okay, that's basically what I'm going to do. Then after that, what I'm going to do is to actually do my writer over here. So writer, right, writer equals CSV. That's why I imported the CSV earlier on. CSV.writer. Right, then I pass in my F, right, whatever that I have here, that I've renamed it as F. I just pass in that. Okay, then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do writer dot write row, right, writer dot write row, and then inside this one I'm going to actually put in a list of the descriptions that I've given here. That is the description of the title, names, and everything, right? I'm just going to, because this is what the information that we've been able to extract contains: description, price, rate, counts, counts, review, URL, and then the image. So I'm going to put them over here, right? And then probably name this one description. So this is more like, it's going to be the column names that we're going to have. Okay, this is going to be the column names that we're going to be having. Then this is going to be my price. I'm just naming it right? And then this is going to be rate. Okay. So this one, let me actually name it as review count, right? Let me rename it as review counts. All right. Then the URL is fine. Maybe I can just leave it as small URL, or maybe I can just specify it as capital URL over here. And then this is going to be my image, right? Okay, so that's basically fine. So this is more like, it's going to be the column names of the data that the CSV file that I'm going to create, right? So finally I have to do writer dot write rows, right? Writer dot write rows. Then I pass in the records, right? That's the record. Remember that the record is the one that contains everything. Okay, so I pass in the record so that it will write. It's just going to fill these columns with these data points that we have extracted. Okay, all right. So this is basically what we need to do. Let me run this one and see what happens over here. All right, so now let's try it and see. Now everything runs fine. Let's try it and see. For that we need this, right? So as I said, we're going to run everything from the main, right? So I'll just copy that main and then put it here. For just a try, I'm not going to extract all the 21 pages. Maybe let me extract from first page, say page 3, something like that, right? Let me do that. And then see, let me run it again here, and then here the keyword, let me pass in any keyword here. Maybe laptop, or let me just do something different, maybe school bag, right? Let me run this one and see. So we see that it's running here in the browser. It's going to automatically open this browser for us, right? Now you see that it's searching school bags over here. So it's going to extract it from page 1 all the way to page 2. I think so. Because if you now you see that we are on the second page, right? Now you see that it just did that. Now it has saved it. Now in order for you to see where it has saved it, you just have to know where you are working from. So maybe I can do this pwd, right? So I'm working from this users my beast, so it has saved it in this directory. So I just go here and then search. I'm going to my finder, then I go to my beast. Now see that I have my beast folder here. Now you see that it's here, results is here. Let me open that and then you can see. Now you see that. Now you see the information that we've been able to extract. Okay, we've been able to extract the. Let me double click this one. Now you see this is the description over here. This is the price, right? This is the rating, right? And then you can also see the review count, right? You can see the review count as well. You can see the URLs, right? You can see the URLs over there. You can see the image URLs. So we see that we've been able to extract all this information. This is from page 1 to page 3. Okay, this is from page 1 to page 3. So you can increase it and then extract as many as you want. Maybe let me increase this page to maybe page 5. Right, and then probably let me don't save it. Okay, let me get rid of this. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to move it to trash. So we will get another one. We will get a new one. So in this case, we search for school bag. So let me run this one. That is from page 1 to page 5. We search for school bag. In this case, I'm going to search for maybe baby clothes, right? Let me do that and then run it again. Okay, now you can see that it's now running. Right now you can just see the page numbers over here to continuously change, and even the page will start refreshing. As soon as it refresh, it means that it has changed, right? It has changed from one page to the other. Now you see that it has extracted information from another page. Okay, it will continuously do this. It will continuously do this as it extracts the information. Okay, so depending on the number of pages, you just have to give it a little bit of time to do that. I do all of the pages for you. All right, now you can check the results on wherever it is located. Now you see that it's here, right? So now if I click on this again, you see the records that we have, right? We've been able to extract all these records. Right? We've been able to extract all this record. You can just verify any of them, right? You can just verify any of them. For instance, if I copy this image and then I paste it in my browser here, right? If I paste it in my browser here, now you see that it's this image. Okay, so we've been able to extract the image. So if you are building your own e-commerce shop, you can actually do this. So it's this image that it has extracted. You can just extract the images from there. You can extract everything that you want, the pricing, everything, right? This is a whole lot of skill to have, right? A whole skill to have, a professional skill to have. Okay, so I hope you love this. What we can do is to even load this one over here. Okay, so let me do this. We can do import pandas, right? Import pandas as PD. Okay, let me do that one over here. Then I'm going to load the data set. I'm just going to name it as df. Then I do pd dot read underscore csv. Then I pass in, let me actually move this data, right? I'm going to move this to the, okay, my beast is fine, so let me just do it. Let me just do it over here. I'm going to pass in result dot csv. Okay, so that is done. Now if I do df.head over here, right, this is the information. Now you see that we have all the information, right? You see that we have the description, the price, the rate, the review count, the URL, then the image. Okay, now I can actually I can see whatever that I can do, whatever analysis that I want, right? I can just maybe do it like this so that you see quite a number of them, right? You can see now, you see that we have 232 records being extracted, right? So depending on the number of pages that you specify here, you'll be able to extract as many results as possible. Okay, you can extract as many results as possible. All right, so I hope you appreciate this, and you can use this one for any of your projects, right? So you can increase the number of pages and extract 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, whatever records that you want. Okay, you can just extract them as you want, and then after that you can perform the further analysis. You can build machine learning models on the page and everything that you want to do. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to give it a good ratings. Feel free to give it a good comment. I will appreciate it the more. Okay, so see you in the next tutorial. Have a nice day.